Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Artificial DM. My voice is actually a little janked up right now. Hopefully we'll be able to struggle through the video. We're going to take another look at r/RPG horror stories. I've got 2 stories on this video, so be sure to stick around till the end. Today's story is from the user Nuncle11, booting a player the first time. Greetings all. I've been playing and DMing D&D since about 1983, and DMing almost exclusively for the last 7 years or so. During that time, I've had to kick out 3 players from my games. This happened about 2 years ago, and is the most memorable instance. I was running an in-person game at my home in Alaska. Dwayne and Lori, 2 of the players, were a couple when we started. During the course of the game, they ended up separating. I messaged each of them privately and got promises that this would not impact the game and that they both wanted to stay in it, so on we went. Very soon after, Lori moved out of their apartment. Her and a girlfriend moved out of the state. So after she got settled, we set up a live chat with her so Lori could still be a part of the game. She was in a different time zone than all of us and had to stay up late in order to game with us. Since I live in Alaska, every state except Hawaii is ahead of us, time zone wise. But she was willing and we made it work. Dwayne was playing a monk and Lori a warlock. Dwayne's player character, Brother Yang, revered life, and he had mentioned how he would give way to a superior force. After a couple months of playing, there came a time where we couldn't meet in person for a few weeks. So, we decided to do some non-combat playing via Facebook Messenger. Now, just before this, the party was searching for a dragon's lair. Then came upon the dragon raising a village. They attempted to hide, but the dragon's higher perception rolls discovered them. The dragon ordered them to come out of hiding. Predictably, they decided to fight. A couple of good rounds of combat followed, which actually went pretty well for the party. Being able to hide among the trees and snipe at the beast from cover made a difference. They actually thought that they had a chance to beat the dragon. The dragon was going to fly away the next round or so to avoid death, but they didn't know that. Then, Brother Yang steps out of the trees in front of the dragon. He decided to bow down to a superior force, even though the party had been doing really well against the dragon and had a good chance of killing it. I was caught by total surprise, and the game completely changed at that point. Yang placed his weapons in front of the dragon, surrendering to it. The dragon, already pissed at the party for hurting it, decided to humiliate Yang before killing him. The dragon told Yang to divest himself of everything, including his clothes. I figured this would be enough for any player to say, "Floop this," and he and his party would try their best to kill this uppity dragon. Instead, Yang strips himself completely naked and drops everything in front of the dragon. The dragon burns to ash everything Yang owns, then says, "Drop to your knees, crawl to me, and kiss my clawed feet as a sign of your submission to me." Surely, this will piss Yang off enough to fight, or retreat to the company of his companions. Yang crawls to the dragon and kisses his clawed feet. I take pity on Yang. The dragon then changes his mind. He tells Yang, "Since you are such a good little slave, you will come with me to my lair and serve me for the remainder of your days." At this point, the rest of the party finally realizes Yang is totally flooped and rushes out to save him. The battle goes for another round or two before the dragon flies away, as he really was close to death. Sorry for the long side story, but it shows Dwayne's strange way of playing his character. The rest of the party was pretty pissed at him for placing them in a more extreme situation than they would have otherwise been. They eventually found the dragon's lair. Long story short, they killed it, but Lori also died during the battle. Yang also battled virtually alone, doing things on his own without coordinating with the party. Illy was returned to life by Lulth, another long story. This is the point when we started the Facebook role-playing for a little while. Yang gave very strange answers to questions about why he acted the way he had been acting. He felt the other companions didn't respect him, and he was trying to stay true to his values, but the party was acting completely contrary to this. He singled Illy out for his tirade more than once. At this point, I got a private message from one of the other players, saying that Lori was messaging him, complaining about Dwayne ranting against her in his own private messages, saying basically the same things Yang was saying to Illy. It quickly became apparent that Dwayne had been taking out his anger about the breakup against Lori in the game, via his character Yang. So I messaged Dwayne privately and asked him what was going on. He gave me the story that he felt he was acting the way his character would. But 2 of the other 3 players had messaged me by this time, telling me how upset Lori was, and she was crying with what was happening. That was enough evidence for me. I messaged Dwayne back and told him I didn't think he was a good fit for this game anymore. He agreed. I told him that if I ran a different game later, he'd be welcome to join. Then, after I had taken him out of the group message, Lori and I were talking, and I found out he had been doing this for quite a while before this. It just came to a head and came out in the game at this point. So at that discovery, I rescinded my invitation to Dwayne to join another game of mine. TLDR, player verbally abuses his ex in the game because it's what his character would have done. Have you ever witnessed players lashing out at each other in the game just to get back at something that they did in real life? If so, I want to hear about your story down in the comments below. Our next story is from the user Very Suspicious Fish. He was on his phone during session 0 and wasn't expecting there to be consequences for his actions. "There's too much combat in dice rolling," he said, having picked 8 different completely unnecessary fights, nearly dying twice, murdering 12 civilians for no reason, getting chased by police, mercenaries, bounty hunters, and prison guards, all during a session 1 that was supposed to be a fun, laid-back intro to the game. "You just pulled that number out of your butt, so I would lose," he said, attacking a war veteran wearing custom body armor in a spaceport where no one was being aggressive toward him. "Why would they do that?" he asked after he murdered a prison guard in cold blood who was releasing him from the prison with no issue, seeing that other guards were now chasing him with weapons. "This game is stupid," he said, having to face the consequences of gunning down an innocent receptionist trying to help him with unlocking his ship from the spaceport. All of this nonsense from the same idiot, who then sends me a 3-paragraph text explaining that he didn't think the game was fun, that he thought he would be a better DM. I've been doing this for years. No complaints. He has no experience. And that again, there was too much dice rolling, which was all his fault. He then invited me over to play other board games, and I'm like, nah, you're toxic and playing with you is an utter chore. Hey, Jackson.
You're a dumbass.
Thanks for ruining the game for everyone. Thanks for disrespecting me the entire time and challenging every roll, every decision, and every word I said. You suck. The biggest point here is, as a player, you have to remember that your character is in a world as a real person. Yes, it is fun to do things that you aren't normally able to do, such as magic or maybe scaling a wall or fighting off an entire army of skeletons. But there's still a consequence for your actions, and the NPCs in the world around you are going to react to a person going and murdering people. And yes, it is a game. Yes, you get to do what you want within reason. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, and if you want to hear more stories just like it, then hit that subscribe button. Until next time, hope you feel inspired.